I was in the chemist this morning and I was trying to get you the indigestion tablets, just the chalk ones that you had, like, what do they call Rennies? And there was nothing on the shelf, so I went to another chemist. We have about 100 in N8, and I went to another one, and there were none.
Yeah.
And then I went into another one, and the supermarket, none. And I went into the final chemist, a bit exhausted and worn out, and I said, why are there no indigestion tablets in any shop? And she looked at me straight in the eye and went, there's a global shortage of chalk. A global shortage. Chalk.
How can there be a globe? Have they seen the White Cliffs of Dover?
Apparently that's a thing. So anything made with chalk, I presume chalk is part of that. Yes, we can't get any at the moment. I think I'm going to maybe we can recycle.
Can we make it?
Yeah, I was wondering if I could buy school chalk, if that's a thing anymore. Probably not. No, because people paint images all around N8 with chalk on the pavements. The lady who did cupcakes around the area where dogs had pooed.
You know what?
In order to highlight the dog poo.
I'm going to get in the car tomorrow. And I'm going to drive down to Dover.
Yes.
And I'm going to abseil
pickaxe with you
down the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
Scrape off a couple of bags, forage.
Yes.
Think of it as foraging.
Foraging.
I'm going to forage for chalk.
Yes.
And then when I've got a little bit of heartburn, I can eat the chalk from Dover.
At present, it seems that chalk has a better weight value than gold at the moment.
Wow, this is Sowerby and Luff Deluxe.
Live on tape from Studio Senseless in leafy London town, it's Sowerby and Luff Deluxe.
There is a place where dreams live.
Welcome, wanderers through time and space, to Sowerby and Luff Deluxe. I'm Brian Luff.
Hello, and I'm Georgina Sowerby.
Coming up on Sowerby and Luff Deluxe, an author who has written over 200,000 books.
Is it you?
Count them. 200,000.
It's amazing.
Conspiracies surrounding the sinking of the Titanic.
And there are lots.
Alien abduction, a medical hypothesis.
Hypothesis? That's easy for you to say.
And we'll be meeting for the very first time, if he turns up, Derek the Psychic Seahorse.
I'm looking forward to that. What does he... Oh, no, I won't ask. Let's just go and do it.
Yes.
I want to meet Derek the Psychic Seahorse.
Don't overthink it.
No, okay, I'm not going to.
So, kicking off this week's Matters Arising, Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
Now,
film.
Yeah, the film. Now, long-time listeners to this podcast will know that our local corner shop, which is now called Londis, it's now part of a chain, it's in Weston Park. It was the location for one of the most iconic scenes in the 2004 comedy horror film Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
Starring Simon Pegg, right?
Yeah.
Now, they have a zombie walk every year now during the Crouch End Festival. Yes. They have a zombie walk,
and so they should.
It's part of the entire fabric of Crouch End. Yes. Is this film? In fact, it's spectacular. If you're ever close to Crouch End when the festival is on, come down on the day when there's literally hundreds of people dressed as zombies walking down the road, and then they all go into a big field and they watch Shaun of the Dead.
Dum, dum,
right? Sometimes they watch Mamma Mia, but that's a different story.
When you can't get Shaun of the Dead.
So that film has since been voted Britain's favourite comedy film.
Has it? By whom?
Some poll that they had on some website.
Yeah.
It might even have been the BBC.
Might even have been Simon Pegg's family.
Yeah. Now, name drop time. I did actually work as a writer on Simon Pegg's TV sketch show in the late 90s. In fact, 2 TV sketch shows.
Yes.
So I'm always interested to see stories that are connected to him in some way. We saw him going past pushing a pram, didn't we, once when we were doing
We've seen him lots of times, when he used to live here.
So,
yes.
We were actually there when they were filming the sequence that happens in the Shaun of the Dead shop, which is just round the corner, right? It was only a couple of years after you and I met, in fact, wasn't it? We were still young and in love.
I can't. Is that when we used to write poetry to one another? I can't remember.
No, we happened to be. We didn't
Yeah.
know what was happening, but we happened to be in the newsagent shop.
Yes.
Opposite the little corner shop in Weston Park.
We're never in there now.
Where they film. No, I never go around there.
No.
The road was filled with film cameras and lights and cables, and at the time we didn't know what they were filming at all. There's always filming.
There's always a camera around here somewhere.
Yeah, they're always filming something in Crouch End. It's because all the directors live in
Yeah,
Crouch End.
yeah, so they don't go very far.
And they
I
don't
know
have
why
to get
it
a
is.
cab
Yeah.
to go to the location.
Yeah.
So a man with a walkie-talkie ran into the shop and asked everyone to stay quiet because they were going for a take outside.
Exciting.
So we looked out the window, and on the other side of the road, Simon Pegg walked past in a white shirt and a red tie. Right, the now iconic white shirt, red tie. And he was followed by a handheld film camera, and he went into the Londis shop opposite. Suddenly there were zombies everywhere, right?
Yes.
Staggering along the road. Simon Pegg then came out of the shop again and walked back up the street holding a can of Coke and an ice cream.
Yes.
Right, Cornetto.
A cornetto.
I since found out.
Just one cornetto.
Strawberry Cornetto.
Strawberry cornetto. I wouldn't let you get that out.
I
would
googled it. Right, ever since, horror film fans and comedy fans from all over the world have visited that shop. We've mentioned this before on the podcast many, many moons ago. They visited that shop to take pictures and go inside to buy a strawberry cornetto. It's what you do. It's the thing that the tourists do. Now, we've talked about Shaun of the Dead many times before, but now there is big news.
Big news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Within the past few weeks, the new owners, who have been there since 2021, have decided to completely refurbish the shop.
No, say it's not true.
So it doesn't look like the Shaun of the Dead shop anymore.
Does it look all neat and tidy and well lit?
The layout inside is completely different. The fridge that had 2 bloody handprints on it, gone. The fridge is gone.
No.
The freezer from which Simon Pegg took the strawberry
Cornetto.
gone.
Gone.
Right?
I'm hurting inside.
Now, I am as well.
Yeah.
And I only found this out last week when I went round there. The new owners have unwittingly, or perhaps knowingly, meddled with the very fabric of the British film industry.
Yes.
While at the same time destroying a much-loved piece of local history.
I wonder if they sold it.
Why didn't the local council stop it?
Yes.
It's a tourist site.
There should be a plaque outside, shouldn't there?
Why isn't it Shaun of the Dead shop as listed as a historic building? Now, just before that, I went in there and I asked them about the refurbishment, right? And I took a little video to show what the change. Now, I will post that little video on this post. Right,
yes.
So if you're listening to this podcast now, you can click on and actually see this little video. It's only about 30 seconds long of me going into the shop. Now, just before the refurbishment, last Christmas, and they told me this in the shop, Simon Pegg actually visited the shop because he was in London for Christmas.
Yes.
And he posted a little video on Instagram as well to his 80 million followers or however many he's got. Now, the thing is, he didn't realise this. He was seeing that shop for the last time.
I know. It's sad.
Because it was just before.
Maybe that's why he went round, though. Maybe they said to him, we're rejuvenating the shop. If you want to film, you better come now. So,
yeah, the video goes from the gatepost of the house that played the part of Shaun of the Dead's house, crosses the street, goes past the little traffic island in the middle of the park where in the film there's a bollard lying on its side, right? Goes past where the blue car was parked, which had the windscreen punched out in the film, past the place where the motorcycle was lying on its side.
Why did we notice none of this when we went into
We didn't.
We didn't notice any of this.
We were like
when
the character. Because he doesn't, in the film, he doesn't notice any of it.
We just blah, blah, la, 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 into the shop and just didn't even notice.
We did the same thing. So personally, I think the new owners of the shop should put everything back the way it was.
Yes, okay.
So as to respect one of the most famous movies ever made. So I might write to our MP about this.
Yeah, all right.
We've written to our MP before about
Yes.
things. You usually get a reply.
Yes.
Don't you?
Yeah, that's when it was another MP. I don't even know who our MP is.
And I'll
anymore.
send a copy of this to the local paper as well, just
Yes.
to let them know what's going on. Because I don't think the local paper are aware of the vandalism that has gone on to this national monument.
Well, they might lose out because people know that it's been redone. Then maybe people won't go and visit it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Sad news.
It is sad news. Any other matters arising, Georgina?
I was on a bus the other day and an old lady got on, and I swear, this old lady had one of those walking Zimmer frames in front of her. Got nothing against little old ladies with walking. She struggled to get on the bus, bless her little cotton socks, and she moved down the aisle and simply sat on one of the seats and put the big, unyielding Zimmer frame in the
Unyielding?
aisle. Unyielding.
Unyieldy?
Unyielding.
Unyieldy.
It wasn't yielding to anyone, B, so it was unyielding.
Right.
And she just simply put it in the aisle at the bottom of the stairs, so no one could get up the stairs or down the stairs,
Bless
or
her.
indeed through the bus.
Bless.
And the driver did lean out of his little, little whatever you call it, little corner, and he said, "You're going to have to move that." And she said, "I can't." And about 8 people got up, including me, and none of us could bend, we couldn't, it was so big that we couldn't get it round the pole that was there. And I don't know what it was the angles. I thought, I wonder if I lift it, if I'll be able to get it, but she's told me she didn't want it lifted, which is fair enough. So we couldn't move it, and the driver went, "I'm not sure we can go on with this blocking because it's illegal for me to carry on driving if, there's no means of escape for people," which I can completely understand. At this point, a brilliant woman got on the bus with 4 children, and she had done everything, seen everything, and was capable of doing everything. She simply got on, she saw that the Zimmer frame was blocking the aisle, picked it up, bent it round at an angle that none of us had thought of, put it to the side.
Hang on, bent it round?
No, she managed to sort of turn it at an angle where you could just get it
Oh,
through.
right. Oh, she didn't actually bend it?
No, placed it to the side, ushered all her children, and I thought, that's it. If you're a mother of 4, you just get things done, don't you? You get things done, Zimmer frame moved, everyone happy, bus driver could set off again.
So, Georgina, I was going to mention the unwelcome smells that you've been spraying everywhere.
Okay.
But we haven't got time for that.
Oh, okay.
Because Georgina's got loads of different cans with various smells in. So she sprays lavender around the bedroom bit. I don't really like the smell of lavender.
That's tough.
To be honest. But I'm not going to mention that. No. So let's just have a quick update on the ghost. Georgina's friend has got a ghost in her roof.
In the attic. Yeah. Well, it has progressed because Mary said that she was getting... The noises are still happening, but no one believes her basically now because they've gone round, they've had a look in, there's no evidence of anyone being up there. So they all think it's probably a little bit of attention seeking on her part.
Oh.
But she said the other night she woke up and the noises were really loud and the doll on her dressing table was moving its eyes. I know, right? You're right to look shocked. The doll was moving its eyes and she got really scared. So the next day, she decided to burn the doll. It's all getting a little bit chaotic.
This isn't a film, ladies and gentlemen.
It isn't.
This is something that is supposedly
in real life.
Just going on round the corner from here.
It's just round the corner from here.
Now, I mean, I was wondering whether she wasn't... I mean, I don't know the lady. You know her. I was wondering if it was a bit of attention-seeking going on.
She's not that much of an attention-seeker.
Now you've told me about the doll moving its eyes.
Yes.
I'm starting
it's all
to
getting
think,
a little bit filmy, isn't it?
That's it. Sounds like something she's seen in a movie.
Anyway, she tried to burn the doll. She couldn't burn the doll. She tried to set fire to it in the garden, but it wouldn't burn. And then her neighbours knocked on the door and asked her not to burn plastic in the garden because it really smelled. Anyway, that's where we are now. She's still got someone coming round to go and look upstairs because the noises are still happening.
You know how I'm feeling about that now? A bit like, when you watch a film where, for a horror film, for the first half an hour, it's kind of subtle.
Yes.
And psychologically scary.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they do something like the doll's eyes move.
I know.
And you go,
no.
Yeah.
That's when
I feel like that. I feel slightly cheated now.
Yeah. That's when you go, Mary, you've gone a little bit too far now. You shouldn't have entertained the doll idea.
Maybe she dreamt the doll's eyes moving.
Maybe she's dreaming at all. No, she isn't dreaming at all because I've heard the recording of the noises.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that could have been her doing the noises, really, couldn't it?
I suppose so. She could have just been stamping up and down and recording noises.
Anyway, that was this week's Matters Arising. Coming up next, a very watery edition of Corridors of Conspiracy.
Corridors of Conspiracy.
What have you got for us on Corridors of Conspiracy
I
this
love
week,
this
Georgina?
one. The Corridors of Conspiracy this week is that the Titanic didn't sink.
Oh, right. Oh, I knew that you were going to do the Titanic.
Oh,
but
I know.
I didn't realise it was going to be quite as radical a conspiracy as that.
It's partly that the Titanic didn't sink and partly that it was something else that sunk and or it didn't really sink or someone should have rescued it. There's also, I mean, the Titanic is surrounded by controversy because basically we don't really know what happened. Apart from it, we think it went into an iceberg. Now, everyone was saying that it actually wasn't the Titanic that sank. It was its sister ship, Olympic, which had the larger insurance claim, and they wanted more money. You see, the thing is, a ship is a ship, and if people are on board the Titanic who then never appear anywhere else, it suggests that the Titanic was the one that sank.
Well, what did they do with all those people?
Exactly. None of these people think it through when they go, oh no, the Titanic didn't sink. You think, yeah, no, it really did. It really did. Some believe,
Yeah, go on.
that some theorists, I'll throw that in, believe that it was sunk deliberately.
Oh. Hang on, was the Titanic sunk deliberately or the Olympic sunk deliberately?
If you then go, yes, it was the Titanic that sank,
right.
Some people think that it was sunk deliberately because there were very many wealthy and influential men on board who opposed the Central Bank of America. And there is an idea that JP Morgan of the bank arranged to have his nemesis on board, that was at least 4 of them, sunk to eliminate them. So one man just went, no, I'll sink an entire ship to get rid of these 4 men.
If it was deliberate, I'm wondering whether they deliberately sailed the Titanic into the iceberg, or whether they somehow pushed the iceberg into the Titanic. Which way round was it?
Well, maybe there was a ship on the other side of the iceberg just pushing it slowly towards the Titanic. Anyway, JP Morgan was due to get on the Titanic and called off at the last moment, which is why everyone suspects it was him that sank the entire ship.
Okay.
Also, JP Morgan, owned International Mercantile Marine, which owned the White Star Line, which in turn owned the Titanic.
Oh.
So he actually owned the ship. So he could have had it sunk anytime he wanted to.
Or it could have just sunk.
Yes, it could have just sunk. No one could understand why he didn't get on board. He was in the south of France and he was going to come up and get on the Titanic for the luxurious journey. He even had his own special bath in the Titanic, in his room in the Titanic, that had a cigar holder next to the bath. I love that. Is that ultimate decadence? I need a cigar holder next to the bath so I can smoke in the bath. I've never dreamt of smoking in the bath. It's brilliant, isn't it? He cancelled last minute, but lots of people say, A, it can't have been done. B, no one can organise for an entire ship to hit an iceberg, so that's an honour. And also, he was in the south of France. It was lovely weather. He simply extended his holiday and thought, I'll go back on the Titanic another time.
Well, maybe another conspiracy could be that it didn't sink at all.
Yes.
Right,
yeah.
And that it's still out there somewhere
with
just cruising quietly
around
through the North Atlantic. And more Corridors of Conspiracy next time. Up next, Thesaurus Walrus.
If you'd like to follow this podcast on Twitter or Instagram, we are at Sowerby and Luff.
You can visit our website, which is sowerbyandluff.com, or keep in touch by becoming a member of our busy Facebook group, Sowerby and Luff's fully optimised social media network.
SOWERBYANDLUFF.
Water sprays at the ready. We have Thesaurus Walrus.
Hello.
Hello, TW, or TW Junior.
I'm Thesaurus Walrus.
Are you, though? The word...
What's my word this week?
I would like you to find synonyms, please. That's the opposite.
I do opposites.
You do opposite.
My dad used to do words that are a similar meaning to the word.
Yes.
But I do words that are opposite.
Opposite. Okay. Today's word is unequivocal.
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 That's quite a hard word to say, isn't it, Georgina?
Yeah, that's why I chose it.
Unequivocal.
Unequivocal.
Okay, well, clearly the opposite of unequivocable is equivocable.
Yeah, okay.
Ambiguous.
Yes.
Doubtful.
Yes.
Indefinite. Questionable.
Questionable. I like.
Questionable.
I like questionable.
Vague.
Vague is a great word.
Unclear.
Better than no. Vague is best.
Unequivocable.
Unequivocable.
I can't think of any more.
No, okay, that'll do. That's fine.
Can I send you an invoice?
Sowerby and Luff Deluxe.
Still to come on Sowerby and Luff Deluxe, a man who's written over 200,000 books, a seahorse who can predict the future, and we'll be playing a new game called Name That Fish.
I'm looking forward to Name the Fish.
To listen to the full-length version of this podcast, go to patreon.com/Studio Senseless and become a patron of Sowerby and Luff Deluxe.